AITA for telling my sister's former employer that she hacked my account and racked up almost $1,000 in fines in my name? From the subreddit Charlotte Dobre YouTube. I have an older sister who is the most toxic person I have ever met. This happens a couple of years ago. So my sister, who I am gonna call Michelle for any stories I share about her, worked at the circulation desk of a branch of a public library. At this time, I had been living about 90 minutes away from my family for work and had been for roughly 5 years at this point. One day I had gotten an email from said library, with this massive list of overdue books, movies and CDs that I had never checked out. I freaked out when I saw the list, especially since this was all stuff that only my sister would have wanted to check out. We have zero similar taste when it comes to stuff we like. So I called my sister and demanded she return everything back to the library and asked her how in the hell she got access to my library card. Well, turns out, her card had been revoked because she had returned something, and when they were checking back into the library, they had found cockroaches in the stuff she returned. But since she wanted to still check out stuff, she thought it would be a fantastic idea go into the system at the library to access my account and get brand new cards so she can continue to check out stuff. I was seeing red when she told me this. I hung up on her fuming. This isn't the first time Michelle has put a stunt like this. So Michelle calls me back and swears she is going to return everything, and I thought that was the end of it. Nope. I was so naive. Fast forward to August of 2022. My mom had passed away in mid-June due to complications to have 2 aneurysms removed from her brain. I was checking in with my dad to see how he was doing, and he told me that a letter had shown up for me in the mail. Completely confused, I asked him to open the letter, and it was a letter from a collections agency, saying I owed almost $1,000 from the library that my sister had worked at from stuff that was not returned. I almost threw up. My sister never returned any of the items back to the library. And with how the letter was worded, it sounded like there could be legal action if the balance was not resolved. I have my dad sent me pictures of the letter, and I call my sister and I just lose it. I was so angry and upset with her. Especially with it being barely a couple months since our mom passed away, just to find out my sister had pulled this level of bullshit on me. I remember being at the grocery store, not caring at all if people were giving me weird looks, as I am yelling at my sister to tell her she has a week to get this sorted out, and I'll be damned if I have to go to court over some time I didn't cause. The entire time my sister is quiet and not really saying anything. And any response she is giving me is short and curt. When my sister is pissed, she tends to get quiet and purse her lips together, and I told her I knew full well she was doing that when I had every right to be blowing up on her. So I give my sister a week, and when I followed up with her, to no one's surprise, she had yet to follow up and correct the issue with the library. So I ended up having to call the collection agency, and thank God the agent I got was a total sweetheart and let me fully explain what the situation was. She recommended I reach out to the library in question and did assure me that it wouldn't go past the collection agency. I reached out to the library and was able to get into contact with the head librarian and explain everything to her. About how I have been living in another city for over 5 years, and if they look at the account activity, as well as the camera footage, they would see it was my sister chucking out all of that material. Again, I am beyond grateful they listened to me and promised they would do some investigations into what I said and would follow up with me in a week. I said that I would come up in that week's time so I could meet with the head librarian, and I stated I would bring a couple copies of my most recent utility bills, so that would be the sign to confirm I was who I was and it wasn't my sister trying to pretend to be me. I contacted my sister again and told her that I have already contacted both the collection agency and the library. Michelle tries to say that she would take care of it, but I told her to drop it, and because of the fact that I now have to be involved, she lost her chance to fix the issue. So after a week, I get a call from THR head librarian, and based upon what they found, they were able to confirm I was not the culprit for everything that was checked out. They agreed to take my name off the account and put it under my sister's name, so that way I would no longer be responsible for the amount owed. I was asked if I wanted to press police charges against my sister, and I had to stop myself, only for the fact that my sister had primary custody of my niece, and if my sister got arrested, my niece would go to my ex-brother-in-law, and I would basically never get a chance to see my niece again. I gave Michelle a final update, and all she could do was blame me for all of this and said I was an asshole, and I embarrassed her because she had friends that still worked there. She couldn't believe that I would have the audacity to go this far and ruin her name at the library. So I told her reporting my sister to her former employer about her hacking my library account and pretending to be me to check out stuff from the library that she had zero intentions of returning. Edit. My sister was no longer at the library long before I got the collection letter. So she wasn't fired from the library based upon what happened after I got the letter. Off? That's a lot of family drama right there.